Ashe, Ashe, and Grand Rising to you all once again, my very beautiful people. Yes, you, my highly enriched melanin people, you, the Earth's original and organic humans, aka my fellow Africans. This I, the Mystic Philosopher, and yes, it is evident that I'm still here with you on this side of reality another time. Yes, another day, another opportunity to full joy this day. And welcome back to I, the Mystic Philosopher. The Mystic P is talking again, aka on the 15 minutes with I, the Mystic Philosopher. And this is episode 65. Ain't it funny how time just slips away? Every day is one day less we have to go. Some people think it's one more day added to their life and to the amount of time them have left here. It's one day less, is a day taken away, so make use of it. Anyway, we'll talk about that another time. The main point of these series of talks, as you know, is stress. And it's called stress on the mind, or more correctly, the impact that this thing called stress has on the thing that we humans call mind. And from my Mystic Philosopher's perspective, the solution to this problem or to this dis-ease called stress can or it may be found in and by understanding, understanding, and overstanding the want equation. Namely, want is equal to money, which is equal to stress, which is equal to unhappiness. And also by putting into practice the knowledge that can be gained from this profound equation. And the quote that I've been using is from the Adamic Race History book in accordance with the 23rd Psalm. And I quote, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." That's the most important part of this quote. I shall not want. In some of my previous episodes, let me again remind you, I ask that you please meditate on the want equation. Again, want is equal to money, which is equal to stress, equal to happiness. And see what you can or what you may learn and derive from it for yourself. In other words, evaluate it for yourselves and see if it makes any sense to you personally, if you can use anything from it to help minimize and to help deal with this dis-ease called stress. In today's episode, which is episode 65, I will answer three more very interesting and thought-provoking questions and comment from another of my truth seeker and independent and analytical thinking listeners. And the three questions are as follows. Let me quote them. Let me quote the question. It said, "The Mystic Philosopher, in the want equation, you said that want is equal to money, which is equal to stress, equal and happiness. Could you please explain, one, how money is equal to stress and how money is equal to unhappiness? Two, how did and did not the Bible say that money is the answer to all things? And three, if that is true, then is it not true that money is the answer to want, stress, and unhappiness?" Unquote. Okay, as customary, let me say thanks for your question and thanks for taking the time out to listen to my talks. And I look forward to more of your questions and also for your feedback, your feed forward and your comments, and to your own unique insights and perspective as well. I look forward to listening, watching, or reading, whatever you have. Share them with me. First, let me preamble my response to your question and comment by saying that from my Mystic Philosopher's perspective, anything to do with money causes stress and is equal to stress. That's how I see it. Stress in one form or another, anything to do with money. For example, the lack of money equal stress. The abundance of money equal stress. You can figure that out. The want of money equals stress. The need for money equals stress. The desire, the envy, the greed, and the greed for money equal what? Stress. You name it, or you name them, and you will see that as long as it has anything to do with the thing called money, it also has to do with the thing called stress. Secondly, I am pretty sure that you might be aware of the popular saying and belief that like attracts like. From my perspective, that is not entirely correct. But there is no need to debate that now. From my perspective, just as it can be easily demonstrated or illustrated and proven through the law of magnetism, unlike attracts and like repels. However, according to the law of nature, coupled with our own practical life experiences, we see that we will reap what we sow, aka like, produce like. Therefore, if you are sowing evil and destructive seeds such as lying, cheating, stealing, wanting, greed, envy, and jealousy, etc., etc., then according to the easily observable law of our mother nature, or the easily observed law of mother nature, what we sow is what we will reap. Like produce like. In other words, evil and the destructive seeds of lying, cheating, stealing, wanting, scheming, and greed, etc., the universe will multiply back to us a minimum of 10 folds or 10 times over. If we can, or if we will agree that this is true, then one need not to be a rocket science or a rocket scientist to know that regardless of what a person may achieve by lying, cheating, stealing, and greed, etc., he or she cannot be and will never be truly happy, and nor can he or she live an enchanted life of pleasure. His or her inner monitor, aka his or her conscience, will be constantly haunting and reminding him or her that they have done wrong, or that you have done wrong, and as such, they cannot be contented. They cannot be in content. One will always be functioning with guilt and from the guilt, and from guilt, functioning with and from guilt, aka one will always function with a guilty conscience. And just to again quote from one of my own songs titled Don't Envy the Rich, and I say, don't envy the rich and famous, my youths. Messages in my song. I said, don't envy the rich and famous, my youth. Why? Because it is not all that glitters is gold. Because some may have religious and political power and fame, but their hearts are evil. They are perverts, ruthless, rotten, and restless souls. Yes, they may be pretending to be doing good and well, but their real life is a living hell. Because worldly fame and success is not nature's true happiness, my youths. You must first free yourself from all worldly attachments. Unquote. Thirdly, no doubt you are aware of the mental, physical, spiritual, psychological, and metaphysical trauma, aka stress, which is also known as stress. All these type of trauma is stress. That guilt, which is also known as a guilty conscience, can do and have on all its victims. What it can and what it does have, or what it do have on its victims that are found guilty. To quote from another of one of my songs, this one titled Death is No Escape, in which I made it clear that we are our own judge, we are our own jury and prosecutor. Whenever we knowingly and consciously do wrong, like when we lie, rob, cheat, defraud, hurt, kill, and murder innocent people, etc., etc., especially innocent women and children, then our conscience will not have us go easy and free. Even if you are a psychopath, you are judged and you will be judged, not necessarily by God or by a God, but by your own conscience. Your conscience is your God. By your own inner balance of what's right from wrong. Fourthly, from my perspective, the reason why a lot of people, if not most people, do what they do is not that they do it for joy, aka for pleasure, or that they truly enjoy doing it. But they do it because of money, which I also call the mark of the beast, that I will explain another time too. Please ask yourself these questions. And be honest to yourself as you possibly can to yourself. Be true. Be possible can with your answers. Be honest to yourself with your answers. In other words, to thine own self be true. And to aid you being honest to yourself, I ask that you please look at yourself in a mirror while asking and answering these questions. Question 1. Had it not been for the money and the want thereof, would I be doing this job that I'm currently doing? Question, ask yourself that and answer it to yourself. Question 2, had it not been for the money and the want thereof, would I be putting up with the SHIT, you know what, that I have to put up with just to pay my bills and maintain the lifestyle and the standard of living that I am portraying? Question number 3, had it not been for the money and the want thereof, would I be married or living with the man or the woman that I am with right now? Ask yourself the question, had it not been for the money. Question 4, had it not been for the money and the want thereof, would I be prostituting myself with any of, or with some of, or with all of these creeps that I'm sleeping and cohabiting with? Question number 5, had it not been for the money and the want thereof, would I be selling drugs, be it legal or illegal, drugs that have and that are mentally, spiritually, physically, financially, and otherwise ruining families, destroying families, homes, and our own community, and my own people? Ask yourself their lives, would you be doing that? Question number 6, had it not been for the money and the want thereof, would I be involved in contract killing that I am in the contract killing that I'm involved in, thereby murdering innocent people, including women and children, people that I don't even know or even I've never met, and not even for a moment have we ever met before their death. Question number 7, had it not been for the money and the want thereof, would I be lying to my own people, my own kindred, sometimes in the name of God, conning them and defrauding them out of their hard-earned income and whatever little possessions they might have? And I could go on and on and on and on, but hopefully from all that I've said so far, you can see where your questions have been answered and how money is equal to stress and how money is equal to unhappiness. And above all, hopefully you will see that money is really the root of all evil. But more on that at another time. I will be talking to you more on that another time. As it pertains to the last part of your question, and I quote, and did not the Bible say that money is the answer to all things? And if that is true, then is it not true that money is the answer to want, stress, and unhappiness? Unquote. In the interest of time, I will have to answer it in another episode, possibly in my next episode or in some future talk. I will get back to you. So thus far for today's episode, I honestly think that I have given you, or at the very least, I honestly think that I've given some of you, if not all of you, a lot more to think about and possible a lot more to look forward to in my next episode, especially as it continues to pertain to and relates to stress, the seed called want, and the want equation, etc. And in the interest of time, I think that I should just pause here for today and ask that you please join me if or when next I'm talking again, possibly in episode 66, where and when I will be talking and sharing with you my perspectives and insight, more of my perspective and insight on the magical, mystical, metaphysical aspect of the word want and the command and commandment, you shall not want, and hopefully continue to address addressing and answering the question and giving more examples of how to get rid of this thing called want and by extension stress. For I shall not want, you shall not want, we shall not want, and nor should we be found wanting. In the meantime and between time, my people, please let me remind you, my beloved people, that yesterday is history. It too is dead and gone, no more to come back. Tomorrow is a mystery, it too may never come, but today is a gift, which is why we call it the present day. And so I hereby implore you, I'm hereby imploring you to live for today. By live, I mean claim your natural birthright. And just in case you don't know what that is, or you may have forgotten what that is, it is your happiness and full joy today. And let's hope for tomorrow, for tomorrow may never come, neither for you nor for I, the Mystic Philosopher. Again, thanks for listening. Thanks for your time. I am the Mystic Philosopher. Ashe. Ashe. Ashe, I say.